Hello everyone, I'm Samarth and today I'll be talking about our work on multi-arm bandits with correlated arms. This is joint work with Shreyas Chaudhary, Gauri Joshi and Osman Yan. The full paper is available on the archive link. Let's get started with a quick discussion on classical multi-arm bandits. In the classical multi-arm bandit problem, a player is faced with k arms. At each round, the player picks one of the k arms and receives a random reward corresponding to that. Each arm has a different reward distribution which is not known to the player. The goal of the player here is to maximize the cumulative reward across a total of capital T rounds. The goal of maximizing cumulative reward is in turn equivalent to minimizing cumulative regret. The regret could be thought of as the loss incurred upon pulling the suboptimal arm. The multi-arm bandit formulation has proven to be quite useful in several application settings. One such setting is the ad optimization, where you want to decide which ad to advertise to a population. The different versions of the ad could be thought of as the arms in the bandit problem. At each time step, a user comes in and you show one of the ads to the user and receive a reward in the form of a click or the time that the user spends on the system. Several algorithms are known for maximizing cumulative reward in multi-arm bandit settings. Some of the popular ones are UCB, Thompson sampling, and KLUCB. These algorithms are online in nature and ensure that each of the k-1 suboptimal arms are only pulled order of log t times in a total of t rounds. And hence we have a regret that scales logarithmically in t. In turn, there are lower points showing that the regret cannot be improved further upon. The classical multi-arm bandit setting implicitly assumes that the rewards corresponding to different arms are independent. However, if you consider the example of advertising, rewards are likely to be correlated because similar versions of the ad might generate similar rewards. Motivated by this, people have studied several variants of the multi-arm bandit problem. One such variant, which is very popular for the ad recommendation problem, is the contextual bandit problem. In the contextual bandit problem, the goal is to provide personalized recommendation. A user comes in and the player is allowed to see their context features such as the age, income, occupation, etc. Based on these features, the contextual bandit algorithms try to recommend an ad which is well suited to their context features. So in a way, it tries to learn a mapping between the context features and the arm that they will like the most. The mapping between context features and expected reward for different ads is not known here. In our work, the goal is different. We aim to identify a single global recommendation for a population whose demographics are unknown. In contrast to contextual bandits, we study a multi-arm bandit setting where we don't get to see the contextual features of the incoming user. However, we know that rewards corresponding to different ads are correlated to one another. For example, a user liking ad 1 is also likely to enjoy ad 2 as it also represents the sport tennis in this ad. The correlation information can be modeled through knowledge on joint distribution of rewards. However, if the whole joint distribution is known, then the best arm is known and the problem is trivial. Instead, in our formulation, we make a mild assumption on the knowledge of correlation in the form of pseudo rewards, which represent an upper bound on conditional expected rewards. Intuitively, it represents an upper bound on the chances that the user would like version 2 of the ad, given that it liked version 1 of the ad. A natural question that arises is, how can we know these pseudo rewards? Such knowledge could be known through prior survey experiments, where each user is presented with multiple ads, and we evaluate the fraction of users that liked ad 2, given that they liked ad 1. This information can also be known through prior domain knowledge. For instance, if these arms represent different drugs, then different drugs may have similar components, and the knowledgeable doctor can provide us bound on the chances that drug 2 works, given drug 1 works. Let's understand the pseudo rewards better through an example. Suppose you have 2 arms and you pull arm 1. What you observe is reward corresponding to that arm, and you also know pseudo reward of arm 2 with respect to arm 1. For instance, Here you know that if user likes ARM1, the chances of it liking ARM2 are at most 40%. Similarly, you know pseudo rewards of ARM1 with respect to ARM2. While upper bound on conditional expected rewards are known in the form of pseudo rewards, the joint distribution of rewards is unknown. Depending on what the joint distribution is, different ARM may be optimal. For instance, in this example, under this distribution, ARM1 is optimal. And if we have some other joint distribution, ARM2 may be optimal. Note that the pseudo reward entries are just upper bounds on conditional expected reward. So if some pseudo reward entries cannot be obtained due to the lack of data in prior survey, they can be replaced with the maximum possible reward, which is 2 in this case, and our framework is still valid. In the special case when there is no information, all entries would contain max reward and our formulation reduces to that of the classical multi-arm bandit setting. To summarize our model, we assume the knowledge on correlation through pseudo rewards, which are upper bounds on the conditional expected reward, and the joint probability distribution itself is unknown. The goal here is to maximizing cumulative reward or equivalently minimizing cumulative regret. Our proposed algorithm for this problem has 3 key steps. In the first step, we try to identify the set of arms that have been pulled at least T over K times. Then we find the set of empirically competitive arms with respect to set S of T. This results in obtaining a subset of the original set of the arms. The notion of empirical competitiveness will become clear later when we go through an example. After step 2, our algorithm uses any classical bandit algorithm on the set of these competitive arms. Let's go over the algorithm and details through an illustration. Let's consider an example. In this example, we have 3 arms and the random reward can either be 0, 1 or 2. The pseudo reward entries are known and are illustrated on the slide. What we don't know is the underlying joint probability distribution and hence the best arm. In the first step of the algorithm, we identify the set of arms that have been pulled at least T over K times so far. For instance, in this case, we identify arm 1. We do select these arms because their large number of samples could be helpful in deeming some arms as empirically non-competitive, as we will see in the next step 2. We now look at all the samples of arm 1 obtained till round T and try to evaluate the pseudo reward of other arms. This can be done through the pseudo reward information available as a prior knowledge. On evaluating pseudo reward for each reward realization of arm 1, we get this information, through which we evaluate empirical pseudo reward, which are just the empirical mean of the pseudo rewards of arm 2 and arm 3. We now know empirical mean reward of arm 1 and empirical pseudo reward of arm 2 and 3 with respect to arm 1. We see that the empirical pseudo reward of arm 2 is smaller than the empirical mean of arm 1. This seems to suggest that arm 2 may be suboptimal based on observation through the samples of arm 1. Hence, we deem it as empirically non-competitive. If we have more arms in the set S of T at the end of step 1, then we evaluate pseudo reward of arm K with respect to all arms in ST and compare the minimum pseudo reward with respect to maximum empirical mean in ST as presented in this expression to deem it as empirically non-competitive. The other arms are called empirically competitive. For instance, upon seeing that the pseudo reward of arm 3 is larger than arm 1, it does not seem suboptimal through samples of arm 1. Hence, we call it as empirically competitive. The third step of algorithm plays a classical multi-arm bandit algorithm over the set of the empirical competitive arms. If one uses UCB in the third step, then it corresponds to choosing the arm with the maximum UCB. In the next round, we do it all over again. Note that we do not permanently eliminate non-competitive arms. The empirical competitive set can change across iteration. We now talk about the notion of a competitive arm, which is useful to discuss our results. An arm is said to be competitive if it is empirically competitive as t goes to infinity, which is to say that if expected pseudo reward of an arm k is greater than or equal to the expected reward of the optimal arm, then arm k is competitive. We denote the number of competitive arms as C. This number is always less than or equal to K and can in fact be much smaller than K in practical settings. A rigorous analysis demonstrates that competitive suboptimal arms are pulled order log t times, whereas non-competitive arms are pulled only order of 1 times. Due to this, we have a regret that scales as C minus 1 times order of log t. In situations where C turns out to be 1, our algorithm achieves bounded regret. Note that this is a significant improvement over classical bandit algorithms. Those algorithms pull each suboptimal arm order log t times and hence incur a regret scaling of k minus 1 times order log t. We see that when C is equal to 1, our proposed CUCB and CTS algorithms achieve bounded regret. When C is equal to 2, only one of the arm is pulled order of log t times, leading to a regret improvement over UCB and Thompson sampling. And when C is equal to 3, the performance of our proposed CUCB and CTS algorithm is comparable to that of UCB and TS. We also performed experiments on recommendation datasets and saw significant improvement. For the movie lens dataset, we classified different genres as the arms in the bandit problem and learned pseudo reward entries through a part of this dataset. To perform experiments, we removed a fraction of the entries and replaced them with 5, which is the maximum possible reward. We saw that even when 70% of the entries were replaced by 5, CUCB and C Thompson sampling gave significant performance improvement. This suggests that even when partial correlation information is available, this approach can prove to be beneficial. To summarize, we study a new multi-arm bandit model where rewards corresponding to different arms are correlated with each other. We design an approach that leads to reduction in effective number of arms, as only the competitive suboptimal arms are pulled order of log t times, while other suboptimal arms are pulled only order of 1 time. There can be situations where C is 1, in which case our proposed algorithm achieves bounded regret. Thanks for listening. Feel free to contact us with any questions that you may have.